Hey guys, we're going to be doing a nice little glute sequence, so your bum, and it's really going to stretch out all three bum cheek muscles. So we actually have a few different muscles, not just one in those glutes. All right, so we're going to start on our back. Come on down, you don't need any props. Let's get into it. All right, so we're on our back. We are going to just tuck the shoulder blades underneath us. We're going to cross our right knee snugly over the left knee. Now, I call this sitting like a lady, and then the next pose is going to be like sitting like a gentleman. So cross your legs nice and snugly, and then we're going to hug both of those knees in nice and close to the chest. So draw them in. Now, if you're super tight here, this will be way enough for you. All right, I can already feel it. So with our right leg crossed over top, we're going to feel it in that right side glute the most. Potentially. Everyone's a little different though, so if you feel it elsewhere, that's okay. Now, if you can go deeper, slide the hands a little lower down the shins, ankles, or the deepest option is to hold onto your feet. Now, we don't want to pull our feet to our bum. Think of lifting those feet further away from each other. So hold however deep you want to go. We'll just be here for a few rounds of breath. Close those eyes, soften through the jaw, soften through the shoulders, a little bit of arm work here. All right, let's release those feet. So we are going to ground that left foot back down, cross your right ankle over that right knee. So it's still there. What did I just say? Cross your right ankle over your left knee. This time we can either gently press that right hand away, or we can hug that left leg in, and you can hold behind the hammies or in front of the shin for an even deeper option. So the closer you draw the legs into the chest, the deeper you're going to feel it in that right side glute still. Let's hold it there. Nice long neck, head resting. Now, if this is too much for you, feel free to pop a pillow under your head or a block, whatever you've got there. Otherwise, take that step back. Keep the left foot to the ground today. We want that right knee to really keep focusing on being away from the chest too. So try not to let that right knee come close to that right shoulder. A little bit of work here to do that. Keep it out and away. Soften where you can. Hold it here a little longer. Okay, keep the legs as they are, but ground your left foot back to the mat and keep that foot close to the bum. We're going to roll our lower body over to that left side. And if this is a bit much, just pop that right foot on top of the left knee. Our arms can either be right out wide or just the elbows even. Now we want to try and keep that right knee up towards the sky here. So really opening through that right leg. Option to turn your gaze over to the right side here. Just a little added spinal twist. Option to press that right knee up with the left hand if you wish. Might be deep enough just to relax your arms. Last breath here. Make it a big one. Beautiful. All right. Unwind. Use those abs to come out of that pose. Unravel the legs. Let's just take a moment with wide feet. So have the feet close to the bum still. Feet width of the mat. Hands can come wherever you like. And just rock the knees like windscreen wipers from side to side for a moment. Notice how the back feels, how that right side glute should feel a lot looser than the left right now. Now, it's really common to have a tighter side, especially in your glutes. So don't be alarmed if this side that we're about to do feels easier or harder. And this is my tighter side that we're about to do. All right. So ground through those hips, bring the feet back in. We're going to snugly cross that left leg over top of the right. So as I said before, sitting like a lady. We can hug those knees into the chest. So maybe just holding onto the knees, maybe further down the calves, ankles, or feet, whatever you can do. Now, it doesn't matter if you're not exactly at the depth that you did before, or maybe it's easier on this side. Try not to let ego come in and force yourself into the same depth that you might have been. So for me, I can hold this, but it's a little too much today, so I'm going to hold further up the ankles, all right? So no ego, just mindfulness and awareness of how far you can go today in this pose. Nearly there. This one takes a bit of effort, so not holding this one for too long. Soften the areas of your body you can, such as your eyes, eyebrows, and jaw and tongue even. Big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. All right, ground that right foot back to the mat. Open that left knee out a bit wider. So left foot is still on your right knee. We can either gently press that left knee away with the left hand or take that deeper option, hug behind the hammies or in front of the shin. So try and relax that right foot, the one that is bent. Well, they're both bent, but the right knee, right foot. I'm sure you understand me. And noticing that left knee isn't coming too close to that shoulder. Try and move it away with your own muscles. So you'll often hear me talk about ego in yoga. And I like to say there's two different types. There's the positive ego and then there's the negative ego. And we want to try and only have the positive ego. The negative ego is where we often have our eyes open and say you're in a class or whatever and you're comparing yourself to others and you're like, oh man, they're in the deep pose. I want to try that. And then that's where it can lead to injury. Whereas if we close the eyes, we tune inwards, we have less likely chance to do that. And the positive ego is where we always want to be slightly uncomfortable. So we don't want to be too comfy that we don't progress and find that flexibility, but we don't want to be in pain at all. So it's about knowing the difference there. All right, let's ground that right foot. Keep the legs crossed exactly as they are. Arms might like to come out wide here, or you can keep them close, up to you. Both knees are going to roll over to that right side. So keep your back grounded. Remember, if it's a bit too much, left foot can come onto that right knee. Otherwise, keep the legs crossed over and turning your gaze over to that left side a little bit. So close those eyes if they're not already. Sink into the shoulders, try and relax them. Relax the legs as much as you can. Now, if you find that legs are quite far away from you, try and hug them in a little closer towards that right arm. If you feel this in your back too much, maybe even just unravel that top left leg. A few more moments here. All right, last breath as you are. Always make it a big breath. You can start to unravel the legs, your spine. Bring it all back onto your spine. And we're going to just take a little moment of mindfulness. So you can have your knees bent still here if you like, or you can stretch your legs out long. So let's bring your left hand to your chest, your right hand to your belly, shoulder blades underneath you, eyes closed. Settle in here, just slow everything down. One more big breath of rest. And we're just going to roll onto our side, any side. Take a moment there, support your head as needed. And we'll come up to a seated position, however feels comfortable. And just before we finish, bring your hands to prayer pose, and I'd love you to find one thing that you're grateful for today. So close your eyes, take a moment. Use the words, I am grateful for, whatever it may be. Well, I hope you feel wonderful and blissful. Namaste.